I'm going to pick up a fish tonight. This will be where it is.
I've been exploring the estuaries along the coast of southern Australia in my sea kayak. Estuaries are old river systems that have been drowned by sea level rise since the end of the last ice age, 6,000 to 10,000 years ago. They're crucial habitat for so many birds and fish species, beautiful but fragile places. Every estuary has something to teach us about how we should be living on this precious planet. I'm back in eastern Victoria, this time with my daughter Kate, to explore an estuary called Lake Tyers, fishing and sea kayaking. It can be a wild and windswept place in winter.
Sheltered here, but you can see a bit of wind moving out there, but there's no whitecaps, so. The sea kayak is such a good way to explore these small estuaries. You just hug the shoreline and get in the smallest of channels. You just hear the surf ocean just roaring on the other side of those sand dunes there.
Oh, we've been coming down here since before I can remember. We used to come down in the summer, but now we come down in the winter.
I've been an outdoor education teacher and guide my whole working life. A student on one of my outdoor education field trips once said, "Whenever we go to the beach, we should take 3 pieces of rubbish home with us." He called it, "Take 3 for the sea." It was a great idea.
Polystyrene, bit of old twine from fishing net, wattle cap. A place like Lake Tyers it's such a different kind of estuary to Anderson Inlet and Shallow Inlet, where I was filming earlier in the year. They're permanently open. A lot of tidal movement, a lot of big mud flats exposed at low tide, then covered at high tide. Egret, royal spoonbills, seagulls of course, swan, herons, ibis, Pacific gull, big mob of royal spoonbill, a couple of white-faced herons in the middle. All out here feeding, doing their business. Whereas here the cycle is much slower. You can see right down at the entrance, there's a sandbar blocking off the lake and it's been filling up and filling up and filling up with floodwaters. You can see it's almost ready to burst through and open up to the sea. Yeah, look here, so that's the highest, they're the highest marks that it's got to.
It's not far. Might go.
And that's the only opportunity for fish species to come along the coast and come in here and spawn. So there are many species that rely upon these kind of estuaries that are closed for long periods of time and then open up after wet winters and flood events. We're so close to that happening, and then all that water will go out to sea and the estuary will become far less fresh and much more saline, and it'll get a bit of tide action working through the base of the estuary here, and it'll get a chance for it to replenish its fish stocks, and some of the mature fish will head out to sea and head up the coast, and other fish will come in and spawn. So it's a different sort of cycle to the estuaries that are open to the ocean all the time and have got that tide cycle working every 6 hours. But just such a beautiful place.
Lake Tyers is an example of a coastal wetland. They're incredibly rich environments, with a deep water basin, swamp and swamp forest, salt marshes, coastal sand dunes. How's the fishing been going, Kate?
In terms of Ambiance, great. In terms of actual fish, rubbish.
Not so good?
Ah.
Oh, well, you got the little salmon on the first day.
Actually true. I've been the fishing champion of this trip.
Before the East Coast low claimed us.
Yes.
And the big southerly.
It's been cool seeing the weather system come through though.
Yeah. We've been forced to fish in the inlet from the land and the jetties. Still, we've given it a good crack.
It's where I grew up, kind of on the coast, coming down once or twice a year, so you get that connection to the place. We used to do lots of swimming, and now we do lots of fishing. I feel like I grew up here a bit, so Lake Tyers still has that little bit of feeling of just the edge of wilderness.
Wetlands store more than a third of the world's land carbon. They're incredibly rich carbon sinks. They're a crucial shock absorber, both to the ferocious ocean, but also to a future of climate change. Were you down here the last time when it was open?
I think so. I haven't seen it open, but we did see it when it was open. Yeah.
And the lake level seems to drop, a few metres.
We did try to fish around the where it had broken open. But
yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah.
I don't think we caught anything though.
Yeah, I lost a big one down there. I lost a big one down there one day. But yeah, that means the fish can come in when it's open, and then they'll stay in here and breed up. Apparently the last time a whole bunch of garfish came in, there was lots and lots of garfish, but the tailor have smashed all the garfish, and so they're gone. And the tailor have got fat and have stopped feeding.
Yep.
Normally you'd see the tailor hitting the surface if there was any action go, but we haven't even seen that. So I figure it's just because it's so cold.
It's too cold.
And with all that rain, there's a lot of sediment in the water.
The sediment's flying kind of beneath us and then out that way.
We should get some sort of action, Kate. So what's the best fish you've caught down here, Kate?
Oh, salmon. 100%.
You caught some big salmon down here.
Oh, I remember, catching him when I would be a little kid, so the fish would be like, used to feel like that big compared to me. So you got Fishzilla last season, and I was hoping I'd get it this one, but nah.
You did get that luteric in the surf that year we had the howling easterly.
That was a bit unexpected.
That was very unexpected. Well, it's a kind of breakwater and weed beds, and we got it off the beach, tucked in behind Red Bluff in that big easterly.
It's a bit lost.
Alrighty, so we're going to head back to the beach shack, cook up some lunch, and then maybe we'll get out for a paddle this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm going to rug up.
Right, Kate and I are going to head out on the Lake Tyers. It's a pretty bitterly cold winter.
We've only got like 15 layers on, so I think we'll be all right. Righto. If I capsize, you better get it on camera. You'll go viral. Local father capsizes daughter.
You'll be viral.
All right, let's go for a paddle.
Righto.
Our father-daughter adventures go way back. I taught Kate to paddle a sea kayak long ago. And we've been on several expeditions together. They're always great fun. But more importantly, it's about passing on a love of being in the outdoors.
reckon she hasn't paddled for a while, so we're going to check out her paddling form. Straight arms, rotate that torso. Lean forward, punch. Does it really suck to have a father who's a kayak instructor? Just like riding a bike.
It's alright, when you have the camera on me, just speed up the footage and I look like the fastest kayaker on the planet.
Activities like fishing and sea kayaking seem deceptively simple. But of course they teach us about being patient and observant, and to learn to wait for something in the natural world to reveal itself to us.
Have their feed for the day and they just find a little sort of sheltered spot.
The minute I popped to the other side of them, I felt the wind start to increase.
Yeah.
So they've clearly got the best spot on the beach.
Yeah, and there'll be birds on the outside just constantly looking, so they can see anything that approaches. They can see a fox or anything approaching along the sandbank. Look at that fantastic flock of crested terns. Just because I'm sitting in a kayak and I've just drifted up into the shallow sand, they just don't consider me a threat because I'm in a completely silent craft. I don't look like I'm walking. And so they just let you drift up to them if you're quiet and sit here and have a look at how the flock behaves. And they're just going about their business, preening and washing, and every now and again one or a couple will fly up and reposition themselves in the flock. They're just terrific little birds. They've got that angular sharp beak, so they're divers. They'll dive into the ocean to catch small fish and razor sharp beak. But apparently they're one of the really threatened species if this avian flu comes back to Victoria with the migratory birds from the northern hemisphere. Crested terns and black swans. Apparently they're very susceptible to the bird flu, so some of these flocks are really in danger.
I'm like the Bear Grylls cameraman. Running joke about that. Can do everything Bear Grylls does, but that's camera. Lining up the money shot. Whoop. Don't drop the camera.
Estuary coming down here. Here's the entrance. There's a bit of a headland there, which would have been the old heads for the river probably.
Yeah.
And there's a whole community just sitting up on that high ground, so
They've got the good real estate.
they've got the good real estate, mate, if there's any sea level rise.
Well, I was reading a report this morning that said something like, I think it's 18 to 35 centimetres by 2050. That could be what we're seeing. Which, hey, if you got a house on the top of the hill, not so bad, but if you don't have a house on top of the hill.
Easy bar, Kate.
Yeah, you beauty.
That's what you bring fathers along for, mate.
You got a latte in there? Or an iced coffee? Looks like we'll have to go through a bit of rain to get back.
Yep.
Typical.
Yeah, it's a big rain squall right there.
It's because I don't have a spare beanie.
I bought you a beanie.
You bought me a beanie that was about 5 sizes too small. I bought you a St Kilda hat.
Beanie, I admit it is for a 3-year-old, but infant, but at a squeeze you can pull it on top of your head.
What's that bird, Dad?
That is a coot. You silly coot. We can see a black swan, and just through there, on the other side, that's an Australian grebe.
Ah.
Activities like fishing and sea kayaking provide shared experiences and memories. We can't expect young people to care about outdoor places unless they have rich experiences there. Teaching my children to love being in the outdoors is one of the most rewarding things I've done with my life.